This is Jalen Delatoris Mario, and I'm going to report about the sexual self. So, introduction. Puberty marks the start of sexual development. In an individual, physical changes start as individual continues to adolescence. So, these changes are highlighted as sex hormones, undergoing physical changes, producing feelings that are sexual in nature. Since sex is usually a taboo subject, most adolescents are confused with these feelings, how to handle them, who to ask about the sexual feelings, and what is considered normal and the inappropriate sexual responses. The best way to understand this is to learn about human sexuality, to get to know one's own body and responses, and establish her, his, her or his sexual self. Let's come to what is sexual self. So self, this is the part of yourself where you learn, and understand your sexual development and how people's sexual activity, beliefs, misconceptions, and unlimited access from the internet on sex can influence your own sexual behaviors and responses. Your sexual self speaks of your sexual health, sexual orientation, gender identity, and expression and values around sexuality. So that is sexual self. Sexual development. Sexual development is a lifelong process that starts at the moment of conception. That is Ciara's 2006. People are little different from each other, so it makes sense that they don't develop in the same way. Sexual development can be predicted as part of the human development, but not everyone is expected to have the same pattern of changes or same pacing. So there are 3 reasons why an individual's sex is important in lifelong development. That is Harlock 2001. Number 1, each children come under increasing cultural pressures from parents, teachers, peer groups, and society at large to develop attitudes and behavior patterns that are considered appropriate for learning members of their sex. Number 2, learning experiences are determined by the individual sex. In the home, at school, and in playgroups, children learn what is considered appropriate for members of their sex. Number 3, the attitude of parents and other significant family members towards individuals because of their sex. Strong preference for a child of a given sex have marked influence on parents' attitudes affecting relationship with the child. So that is the 3 reasons why individual sex is important in lifelong development. So let's move on to the human reproductive system. So one of the many seemingly magical things about human reproductive is that only one sperm can ever penetrate an egg. So only one sperms that are needed to build a baby, to make a new baby. Sex, however, is not just a reproduction, not in humans. That may be its primary biological mandate, but it serves other purposes as well. It helps strengthening relationships, encourages a man to stick around to care for his child, and affects only health but also well-being. Let's go to the female reproductive system. So, ovaries produce 400,000 eggs. Or so every 28 days, The ovum is 100,000 times larger than the sperm cell. The egg cell carries the X chromosome. The egg cell ko, no, carries the X chromosomes. Puberty in girls usually starts between ages 8 to 13 along with all bodily changes. Like breast, hair, skin, hips, voice, even voice. It is also where menarche from the Greek words moon and beginning. His first menstrual period would seal the growth spurt and signal the female's sexual maturity. So let's come to male reproductive system. The testes produce 200 million sperm cells. 200 million sperm cells is spermatozoa every week. It carries the X or Y chromosomes. So the female is only X chromosomes, while the male reproductive system is the X or Y chromosomes, which is the sex determining cell. In boys, puberty starts around 10 to 15 years old and explains why some girls look more mature than boys. So the testosterone hormone causes most of the changes in a boy's body, and men need sperm to reproduce. So that's why the female is more mature than the boys. Male. So besides the physical changes, his brain also changes, of course. Unlike women varying monthly to create menstrual cycles, the hormones in men's brains are constantly active. This may be the reason why men are said to think about sex more than women. So that is the reproductive. So human sexual responses. Biological factors such as the presence of the androgens, estrogens, and progesterone prime people for sex. People's sexual responses follow a regular pattern consisting of 4 phases. PHASES. Excitement, pleasure, orgasm, and resolution. Self-motivation, often referred to as libido, is a person's overall sexual drive or desire for sexual activity. This is motivated by biological, psychological, and social factors. And most mammals, humans are mammals. 6 hormones control the ability to engage in sexual behaviors. However, sex hormones do not directly regulate the ability to copulate in humans. So they are only the influence on the motivation to engage in sexual behaviors. Social factors such as work and family also have the impact to the internal psychological factors like personality and stress. So there are the sexual response cycle. In module, according to the William Masters and Virginia Johnson, the cycle consists of phases: excitement, pleasure, orgasm, resolution. There is a cycle. And that would be all